We're back with another Age of Mythology Retold casted game. And today we're watching a 2v2. I've had a lot of requests for 2v2s, so we're watching some 2v2s. I really enjoyed team games, and this one is actually a pretty high-level team game, which is cool. On this side, we have the purple team, because that's accidentally what I had to start with. The purple team is in the blue, is No Brainer. He is the Aranos. I've seen him a lot in Twitch chat. I know he's well, not my Twitch chat, but Voight's Twitch chat. So I know he's someone on the scene, high-level player, and he is with, I wouldn't know how to say this one. We'll call him King for now. I assume that's meant to be an A. I'm never good with his alphanumerical things, so we're going to call him King. That's nice and easy. He's in the yellow. He's playing Odin. And their opponents today is Mr. Rowland. He is the Poseidon, and this one here is called Shadow in the green. He's playing Fuji. So straight away, this is the most aggressive gods you can really pick. They're all different. So we have Aranos, Odin, Poseidon, and Fuji, but they all can play extremely aggressively if they want to. The Odin and the Poseidon play a very similar game. They normally want to go into mass cavalry, and especially a map like Ghost Lake, where there's this big lake in the middle. Nothing can really block you off. It's quite difficult to get walls up. This is actually not the worst spawn to get walls up. You can get some good walls to block yourself in, but I mean, it's going to cost you so much. Nice little temple placement there by Mr. Rowland. He's trying to defend his gold mines. He does have 2 gold mines to choose from. One of the gimmicks of this map is there's a different amount of golds that spawn, completely wildly different. So this is the 2 gold mine in the base spawn, and his ally here, Shadow, is putting his temple up to defend his gold mine nicely as well. Now, maybe we're wondering, why are the other gods, why can they play quite aggressive? Well, Fuji can go in with those Yatsas. If he goes Shio, that's a very, very good pick to be aggressive. He can also go straight into lots of fire archers if he wants to go up against the Norse, or just straight away getting those hero archers in. They can be very, very strong. And the Aranos can just go Mass Mamilo and go all in. He can't go super aggressive really, really quickly, but can kind of gather up pace and momentum pretty well and mass a big army with the Caladrias, with the Carnivoras, and do something really, really good there. So straight away, we're going to see who's going up to the next stage. So our yellow player, Poseidon, no, not yellow team Poseidon, that's very confusing. In the red is going up through Hermes, pretty standard play, probably getting his hero out. The hero is on the way, going to find some nice relics. Is there any relics near him that are any good? Small trickle of food, not too bad. Tower of Cestus, extra damage versus myth units for your towers, not very exciting. Harmonious Necklace, one of the best relics in the game if he wants to pick that one up. Adamantine Shields, houses are better. The Fuji is also going up to the next stage, going through Genu. So not going for the ultra-aggressive version of Fuji that you could go. I mean, still, Genu can still play pretty aggressive. If you can get a few chillin' out with your army, maybe that's the play in a 2v2 setting, is getting out a decent number of those chillin', because they heal in a pretty big radius around them and can be very, very nice. Whereas No Brainer on the Aranos blue side, he's already got his Sky Passage up, probably wanting to go for a second town center. It's quite a late advance time compared to the other side, so might be scared off from that second town center if we can see his perspective. He has got some oracles in really good positions though, so he can see that this is where some of the units for the opposing team are, and he's got lots of vision of this one. Whereas his friend on this side, King, he's getting a wall up, wants to be played quite defensively because he's also going up for quite a late advance time through Freya. Pretty standard. In the team games, she gives you the faster horses. You get the Valkyrie for raids, just always a good option. And now Prometheus is in, and all of these units are going to jump through the Sky Passage, and it's going to be a really, really fast settlement for No Brainer here. And it's just a really easy way to kind of get a fast town center up. Even though it was a late advance time, the 2v2 maps are a little bit bigger. It's kind of hard to walk over. If you are going to fully commit to something like that, and then they're not going for the town center, then there's not too much damage you can really get early if your opponent just gets out a couple of units to defend. So that's the reason for that one. And a back town center chosen for the Fuji. So he went for this super fast, aggressive advance time. and then chose the back town center. I mean, it's a pretty good one. It has 6 caribou on it. It has a gold mine. But I mean, this could be defended without the town center. Literally just a wall here, and that's all you really need. Forest fire drop down on the Poseidon's probably not the best choice. If Mr. Rowland's paying attention, you can set your rally point here, and the militia will run along. And unfortunately, the militia is basically going to be burned alive. So you do get an 18 HP militia out of it. Not ideal. Did 50 woods worth of damage. I would have much preferred to see this on this position here, on the Fuji's temple. Get some damage to that temple. Move a lot more peasants off. Don't give any free units away. That sort of situation. But yes, back to the forward town center, which would have just made sense to early advance time. Grab this forward town center. You get the same caribou and gold, and then this one's you get for free later on anyway. Looks like the Valkyrie does spot the centaur. Valkyrie wins that every day of the week. But Theseus came over with his 12 times damage multiplier to scare him off. And now the Chillin is in, and Najar's in. Look at him. Yeah, you can't build Prometheans against that guy. I mean, that was just the free ones, but very, very strong unit. Nice Valors being used here from the Uranos. Actually, he's only just used a couple. It's nice to get those on cooldown if you're going for that kind of eco play, but actually wanting to save that to deal with the myth units does make sense. And that Citizen is getting absolutely wrecked. Unfortunately, the Valor's gone down, so won't be able to save this one. Valor does get your units back up to full HP, but it was still about 10 seconds off of cooldown. And this is the power of the Najar super early on. You need to get more than just a couple of units to deal with it one at a time. You need to kind of surround it. Chillin's being annoying as well. It does have the Valor for this one, so it shouldn't be a problem. This should survive nice and easy. Yep, and that is going to be the villagers probably able to take this down, you would imagine. I mean, that is what No Brain is thinking, and it's what Shadow thinks as well. Looks like there was a little skirmish on this side. These guys are going to play very, very similar, getting all their cavalry out. The Odin seems to have mustered up a bit of a bigger army earlier than Mr. Rowland, because he went for that second TC, and also King used his forest fire, just getting a tiny bit of damage on those villagers. Looks like, I think Shadow here killed these caribou outside, or maybe, no, the villagers have actually been gathering from them, not deciding to shoot those ones back. Makes sense to go for the aggressive ones first, and then save the defensive ones for later. It's like King's going in for another raid. Mr. Rowland's villagers were actually coming forward for those Aurochs. It forces the ceasefire. Absolutely huge. Huge force of ceasefire out for something so early, when you can go for some kind of timing attack later. That'd be very, very strong. Potentially go and get those walking woods, big cavalry army with all those extra upgrades going through Njord. Could be extremely strong if that's what we see. And something which makes the Uranoses, the Gaias, the Chronoses better in the team games is the Oracles have so much more safe land to kind of stand in. And if we were to move over to his perspective, how many does he actually have? There's just the starting 3. But what you can do is you can force out a few more, and there's so many places for them to stand to not overlap, and you can end up with quite a lot of favor. I find that especially playing or any of that Civ is actually very, very fun to play in the team games, just because you can go for more myth unit based strategies than playing the 1v1s. Looks like King here. He is just doing a bit of jockeying. Third town center coming through for Shadow, so going for that proper boom. And King is grabbing his back town center. Surprised this again. So I don't know whether players just grab a town center that they just feel like they want to go for, and maybe his units were already here. But if you've got the pressure up, you know that your opponents are on more town centers than you. Just grab this one. I mean, you could even grab this one, your Norse. Just go straight for it. Doesn't know that these guys are on more than one town center, hasn't even scouted that one. Whereas on this side, they did scout Blue's extra town center, so they know what they're up against a little bit more. Definitely need to get on that one. I mean, some good walls coming up from Mr. Rowland, but I mean, you could have scouted that a little bit sooner, especially while the ceasefire is going off. Just, you've got nothing else to do. Just shift click around, find something. Got the Ravens too. I don't know. Scouting is quite important on this side. a 3TC player is still trying to put the pressure on, maybe forcing off to show like, I'm not on 3TC. I'm gonna pressure you. You sit on your 2TC and sit back, and I will slowly get further and further ahead in this game. So the Odin, he is trying to catch out these units. Can definitely do so. He's got so many compared to green. Red is also going for a little bit of an attack here, but all of Shadow's units are probably going down. Does that say Shadow the Hedgehog? Is that what that says? But nice little defense there, or a little raid there. There is a town center that he could go for. Go straight for the villagers though. Some of these peasants are going to be going down. There's a big villager lead for the yellow side, or obviously the green red side, and a vanish forced out just on that handful of villagers. But also did it for the gold miners. Great play. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to get these Quafu here. Green is managing to force blue back. The Mr. Rowland units are coming in to defend, though. And I believe that is going to force the Odin out. Unfortunately, doesn't have the forest fire here. Just kind of used it very early when you could kind of sit on a forest on a 2v1, leave your units there and be very, very happy. Not many walls for Shadow here, which is pretty wild. Oh, Urosh, he's in. He's in. The goat is in. And the Odin, he is. He could potentially get caught out here. Are these walls finish up? The wall was literally just finished up. I mean, he's potentially going to get some big raids on Mr. Rowland's villagers, though. While this is going on, blue is also on the front, so could get some huge raids. There is a town center there, so not going to be able to. But blue does force red's villagers back, and King still wants to get something done. Maybe he just wants to get out now. Could potentially walk through here. Sometimes the trees do let you through if they're fully chopped down. And nice little win for the blue side there. And King deciding to take this fight. Probably doesn't want to do that one. Has managed to go through Scardy while all this is going on. So if he does get caught out, he can use a Frost whenever he really wants to. Hyperion through for no-brainer. So on this blue-yellow side, tech advantage is with them. Looks like the Fuji is also going up to the next stage. He's going through Gomang. Probably one of the best defensive gods there is. A little bit of a stutter there, but everything seemed to work out. No loss of connections during this game. And King, he lost so many units there. Looks like green is also going to come back to defend on the blue Mamillos. The blue Mamillos could potentially get some good villager damage there, but I mean there is no watchtower, so the town center doesn't do nearly that much damage. And I think blue is just going to have to sack his units. They are in the next stage, but I mean they've just lost so many units basically for free there. Got some decent villager raids, I guess. Actually, the raiding cavalry 4 do manage to get away. Forces out the terracotta riders though, which is pretty wild. So still getting some good eco damage. Gomang is now in, so this tower can do some serious damage. While this is going on, there is a bit of a forward hill fort situation coming in. And this is what I meant about grabbing this forward town center. If you were yellow, just grab this one. Because otherwise, Mr. Rowland, he has managed to get it for free. Which isn't ideal considering they were the boomers. And a defensive palace coming in. These terracotta riders will die in one hit to them. Especially if the Satyr can just do a piercing shot, kind of get every single one at once. Still only going for the medium raiders. No upgrades to them. Whether or not he wants to go Mythic Age or something like that. No, doesn't have that kind of eco. A lot of wood in the bank, whether that's a transition, maybe that's to build some farms, maybe that's the reason for our yellow player here. Having all the wood. There we go. Heavy Raiders is in. Decent upgrades from this side. What was the relic that he managed to get? Line of sight of all units. If you're in some kind of situation where you get a relic that's insane for your ally, just hand it over. That's one of the best Aranos relics there is, because you get extra line of sight for your oracles, which means extra favor. It's just a no-brainer. I tell you, just a no-brainer. He is also getting out more oracles. Absolutely makes sense. How many oracles is he up to now? Can we see? If we click on him, go over here. He's on 5. And getting that heroic renewal tech. Looks like it has slowed down a little bit, which definitely favors the red-green side, because they do have the villager lead, and they have done for basically the entire game. Blue hasn't yet got his third town center. Maybe thinking about something else. I mean, he is going for a lot of units, heroizing those units as well. Normally, if you're heroizing a bunch of units, you kind of want to go for some kind of pressure play sooner rather than later. Doesn't actually have that tech to make that cheaper. Oh, yes, because he went through Prometheus. Don't normally see that. Normally, these Aranos players want their Caladrias, want their Carnivoras, and the techs that go along with that. Shadow doing a little bit of a siege down. Zhang Jia getting a little bit angsty. But the siege crossbows will slowly take down the palace. And green is pretty heavy on those fire archers there, but the Murmillos should be able to surround them. This side, yellow is getting a bit of a engagement off. The throwing axemen are basically countered by everything on this side, so they need to make sure that nothing really gets onto them. But there is a bit of a siege coming on with the portable rounds. Unfortunately, only 2 of them actually managed to make it through, so really nice building position from Mr. Rowland there. Also, the micro isn't really going on those throwing axemen. Could have taken those down pretty early on, but instead, the cavalry is soaking up basically all of the fire. Town center goes down. There's a bit of a raid going in with those 1 HP terracotta riders. Don't really need to worry about that one. Villagers can turn around and hit those, no problem. Heroic Age, Dionysus, you have, so that means I'm red currently, I assume. And unfortunately, Satia does get left here, but this is what I mean. I think blue just wants to go, and he wants to go now. He did get a big shockwave off, but a huge vanish. I think that kind of shows maybe how much Shadow has played this Fuji character, because that vanish, I mean, it's quite a small radius, and he did it while the shockwave actually happened. So, I mean, he could have kind of waited and seen what the circle kind of looked like, but still, it was like an insta use of it. So knows that isn't a problem. Chaos comes in, and there's no vanish to deal with this one. And the green units are going to try and run away. Does have quite a lot of armory upgrades though. Is on bronze, whereas this side almost full bronze for blue also. So they're both going for this kind of third age push. Yellow on this side has managed to take the 4th TC, so he is in a commanding spot against red this side. Whereas blue, Mr. No-Brainer, has managed to push him back pretty well. Couple of heavy destroyers, sorry, trying to go after the town center. But the terracotta riders will put a stop to that. You can only use that once per TC. So that is down for this one. And I believe it was the back town center. If your town center dies and you rebuild it, you can use the terracotta riders again. In ultra late game, we have seen players even delete their TC so they can get that one again. I remember watching one of the Kavoth games where he definitely did that one. Looks like green basically has full backline units. Although Naja, I mean, look how much damage this guy does. It's just insane. Is going to go down. And that was Naja being in that form does mean Mythic Age in for the Fuji. So can pull all these units back towards him while all the archers get the damage done if he wants to. Should be able to wipe quite a lot of them. I don't know if... Because a lot of god powers don't do... Or a lot of things don't do as much damage to heroes, whether or not this wave is one of them. What the gold situation is for these guys. Looks like they do have some good gold mines in that base and can start trades whenever they really want. So I don't really see a gold starve happening for this blue-yellow side. 4 villagers all around, so don't need to worry about that one either. This is as strong as the ecos are really going to get until those late game upgrades come in. To have the Odin going up to the next stage, getting Balder in. And No-Brainer really does want to push here. Has a lot of destroyers out, which it's really difficult for the Chinese army to actually deal with this one, especially with all the archers that he actually has here. So town center does go down. Yellow is also still pushing this side also. Doing pretty well. But I think now No Brainer's got his advantage. He just needs to pull these units back. Hero Destroyers cost quite a lot. You really don't want to be losing any. He's doing a little bit of a palace creep, though. So is doing well in that respect. Surprised to not see any great flood during that, to be honest. Do have a Ragnarok in for the Odin whenever he wants, and is at full population. So he's going to get a really huge one. Potentially get those iron upgrades and then just hit the button, potentially. Bit of a frost coming in is going to be nice. And ceasefire force. Nice ceasefire. 75 favor ceasefire. I was going to say 75 gold. That didn't sound right. Can blue actually manage to get this settlement? I don't think you can build it in 20 seconds. But I mean, there's so many villagers here. That would have been a really great play. It doesn't have the wood in the bank. Too late now. You need to do it as soon as it happens. But is going to allow green to get his town centre back if he has the resources for it, which is pretty well. Looks like he does. Just about. Probably was selling some things to actually get that one. So nice ceasefire coming in from red, and I think yellow's just going to go. Okay, we're just going to all attack green then. I think, especially because all the units are frosted for another 6 seconds. It's going to take quite a while for them to get over, especially the slow units like the archers. And king. It's coming over the left side. Town center should be able to go up for shadow, though. There's quite a lot of Quafu on there. Absolutely does go up. And both sides seem to have similar units, as in blue and yellow. They both have quite a lot of cavalry. So the halberdiers are going to be a good choice if you are shadow. And actually, he's deciding, instead of pulling the units towards you, which is kind of the meta thing to do most of the time, it's all the units are here, and my red ally isn't, so I'm going to push them all away, buy myself some time, do a little bit of damage to everything, but more just buy time. And I think that definitely worked out. The red units are on their travels. And the hill fort going up in the face of green. Town center does have double upgrade. Does have masons and architects there, so it's as tanky as this town center is really going to be. Doesn't have fortified town centers, but that is coming through, so that'll make it even more tanky. And I think all of red's archers here are going to be enough to push this army back. Also do have the champion tiger cavalry of green. That one kind of snuck in there, didn't even notice that one. Very extremely strong units. These can just tank for days, while the Mr. Rowland Toxodes are going to be the brunt of this damage, especially if you can go through Artemis and then get that bleed damage. Probably would go through Hephaestus, though, because then you get the Plenty Vault, especially as the gold mines do run out. It is a nice tech, and that is what he's doing right now. It does get that Plenty Vault in. I think people sleep on Artemis, especially if you are just the back line in this 2v2 game. Just get that poison damage in. You can go Ares, too. I mean, this is kind of playing for ultra late game. Probably not really feasible, but getting that Ares tech, so strong. And now we are in a situation where the green and red side, they have a late game Fuji. And late game Fuji has two insane heroes. Yang Jian is the other one. Where is he? He's here. And it's very, very difficult to deal with this one. Actually, we see that the Uranos went Vortex, went for these Centimanus, which is pretty wild. Don't see them very often. Potentially, it's a good spot in a 2v2 setting, though, because you can just switch the battlefield whenever you want. So, definitely makes sense. Also, all these hero units are just tanking for so long. Does manage to take down Najar. The flames have stopped. And yellow does manage to take down this town center, going into legendary Jarls, or keeping with the legendary Jarls. Still only medium Toxotes for Mr. Rowland here. Is he struggling with his eco? He's got plenty of resources. Maybe he doesn't have the buildings. He's got so many buildings. Grab heavy. Maybe just distracted, spending all his resources on watchtowers, getting watchtowers. Doesn't have crenellations. Crenellations does extra damage versus horses. He definitely just hit E. I'm gonna hit E for him and just hope that he's also going to do that one. But Mr. Rowland's definitely got the right idea. Just needs to hit the right buttons. Needs to get his upgrades in. Is managing to get his iron shields. Is at the end of his things. Doesn't have I know, it just doesn't have quite a lot of upgrades, which is pretty wild. Doesn't have this one either, to make his archers better at aiming, ballistics. But I think there's enough towers here. Just don't even need crenellations. Imagine if they did have crenellations, they would do so much damage. Green, oh, excuse me, just choked on nothing. Green managing to push back with his OP Chinese army. Taking the Sky Patch down would be a good idea. It looks like Archer versus Archer violence. Chuko Nu do have the most damage of any Archer, so they should be able to out-damage these guys. On this side, I think Red is defending this side pretty well. Green is bringing his units over. Shadow's champion Tiger Cav. And I think most of these units will go down. So the Watchtower tech, or the Watchtowers, but without the tech, worked out pretty well for him. And Green, because half of his army is the other side, is going to be forced back. Unfortunately, Zhang Jia just doesn't get the message again. And the Llama Caravan for No Brainer coming in. Look at this trade, 172 gold. Unfortunately, going for this one, when I think it... Oh, and we get to see the hero of Ragnarok coming in, and the Titan Gate. Wow, what a play. You're going to have loads of builders now. Look at them go. And we're going to see the Ragnarok Titan combo, full iron upgrades. Just needs to defend on this front side. Does have green and red to deal with. But going to try and apply some pressure. Kind of want to half apply pressure. You don't want to lose these, but also you don't want to sit back too long because you don't want to let the red get loads of Hephaspis in, but they are already in. So he has teched into this one really, really nicely. This choke point's very good for the red-green side. Blue, no brainer. Needs to do a bit of pushing. He needs to make something happen on this side or just come over to help. But green's managing to defend with quite minimal units thanks to all his peasants back here building. And I wonder what yellow's going to do. We've kind of seen that this choke point is very hard to get through. And I think Mr. King here, he's decided the same thing. And he's going, nah, I'm going to go on this left side. Here they go. Oh, he isn't sure. There is 38% left, or 38% done on this Titan. Just going to pause it just for 1 second to get the FPS back. And these Heroes of Ragnarok should be able to come in, surround this army pretty nicely. Polyphemus, though, he's one tanky lad. And already back down to population. Is he already getting villagers out too? I mean, this is the modern day Ragnarok where these guys, they only cost two population now rather than the 3 they used to. So you can repop pretty quickly afterwards. Already got 6 villagers in. And we'll have a type. Polyphemus, God, he lost for ages. What's happening on this side? Baolei's coming up. And green is managing to defend this one very, very nice. He does bring all his units back over, though. And basically just full hero units still for blue. Never grabbed that town center, so he is behind on population. So that might be why he's being pushed back by green also not having all his units in. He just doesn't have the same amount of pop. And a frost forced. That would have been really nice to have a frost this side to kind of push with, but doesn't happen. Looking after his teammates. Got 25 seconds left on this Titan Gate. Looks like the Qinglong looking for a raid. Look at him slithering along. How many Heroes of Ragnarok does he have left? He's got, what, 52 normal ones and 6 dwarves. I think they're the same level of stats, but he's going to get his Titan through. I don't know, I just think he's just going a little bit too soon, maybe. And red defending this one very, very nicely. Green managing to get in, getting a Baolei right on the front. And yellow actually forced to even send some units over this side. What is the yellow population or eco like? He's got 260 space because he's got the extra town center, but not that many villagers. It's managing to get 24 villagers on food. Did have a 20 caravan trade, which is nice. And here comes the Titan. He is on the way, but Najar and the other heroes to deal with him. And the Hippaspis now aren't going to be as useful because all of the heroes of Ragnarok are dead, basically. And what can this Titan do? Najar, I mean, look how much damage all these heroes have done. You can just rebuild that. You can just rebuild the Najar just instantly. There's just no reason not to. Just click that button. Oh, he's quite expensive. Doesn't quite have the gold. Could cancel all these units. I think it's better to have one Najar out than 10 Pioneers, probably. But still, fortified town centers should be going down. There's a handful of Ragnarok heroes left. There's 30. Still not too bad. Red trying to take back his situation this side, but not enough units over there. The units are coming to help out destroy this Titan. Titan's still above 50% HP. That's 60%, I would say. Ballet does have that fortress protection or whatever it's called. Advanced fortifications. Completely wrong, but very, very strong tech. Just does so much damage. And I don't think the Titan's getting as much value as he would have liked. So there is a shift of where the blue units are going. And blue is completely shifting to this side thanks to red helping out. He's bringing all his fire siphons over. I mean, there's so many watchtowers. Did the watchtowers get the techs? They did. They got crenellations where there's no horses here now. No guard towers up. But the fire siphons are going to clear this up so quickly, especially along with this fire giant. Even the really nice micro here. As soon as the fire shot goes off, he was moving to the next one, knowing how much damage he did to those watchtowers. So red is going to try and get some damage done on this side, but his army is just so slow. Really nice play to capitalize on that slow army. The issue is there's loads of militia that are going to spawn. You need to be on top of your Arcus micro to actually get those down, maybe with the fire giant as well. It looks like the attack is kind of dwindling here. Did take down the TC, getting a decent amount of watchtowers in also. And what the situation is for the villagers for yellow, has managed to get 50 back, so halfway there. And red, unfortunately, losing the majority of his army to just static buildings there. That feels bad. Oh, fortunately, a bit of a misclick for those heroes. And yeah, the militia are just going to be, they're going to keep coming out. You don't really want to take down these little ones. They're just going to spawn things really, really quickly. You want to go for the big fortresses, things that are dealing most of the damage. But yeah, there's just so many militias. If we actually move over to red side, it's got 21 militias here. The fire giants should deal with them quickly, but they're also going after the buildings. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication from the blue-yellow side, but still managing to siege down pretty well. And there will be a second vortex available for the Uranos if he wants to go for the same plan when these guys die. So doing pretty decently here. Red forcing his units back. Green still trying to attack this side. And yeah, this blue trade is just exposed. Does manage to get the town center up. And green goes for his own Titan Gate. Here it is. Nice frosty Titan Gate. If he's going to manage to get that one. Titan Gate. Ah, for the same guy. I was like, damn. More Titan Gates. We don't usually see one. 44 militia. And red will defend. We need to see the blue army. What's the blue army situation? Is that all? I think that's everything on the screen button, right? Or is that just the everything? It's like doesn't have too much that he can shift over. What's the eco looking like? Doesn't have that much in the bank to actually bring anything over there. So can't go for another attack just yet. Could pull back if he wants to go for it. Doesn't have masons though. These things are going to tear through his building so quickly. 175 seconds left on this Titan Gate. Looks like red is managing to pull back. Look at a nice. Got a nice amount of FPS watching this game. Oh dear. We'll move over this side. We'll see what's going on here. A little bit of a stalemate this side. Potentially green can push in, especially when the Arcus are going to go for that heavy X cart. That's not what you want. And score wise, it's heavily with the yellow team, the green red. And actually green does manage to get his axe carts through. Like we said, there's no masons for blue, so these buildings go down so quick. And green will be able to put a stop to his trade also, because his trade is right here. Don't know what yellow can manage to do this side, where he's going. He is just trying to break the base of red, but he's shown that that's very difficult to do. And now the premium raider Naja comes in, and a team 2 victory. That is the green-red side. Well defended. I mean, that was a really nice attack both times, but the sheer amount of watchtowers, and then if you only have siege there and only a handful of archers, there's not much you can really do about it. The militia are going to spawn every time. I really liked that play. I really liked the Odin play with the Ragnarok, with the Titan. I think he went a little bit too early, though.